We are Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I am Spencer.
And I remain Daniel.
For our Learned Doc of the Week. It's not really a documentary. It's a little piece. It's called When Britain Nuked America Twice.
Now, this is interesting because I was under the assumption that we had never been nuked. I feel like the only people that can nuke us is ourselves.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to learn. My interest is very piqued.
Yeah. I figure someone of your background, this should interest you quite well.
Well, I mean, nukes and me, I'm not smart enough to even understand that. We got nuked. I'd be like, who took my picture? And then I'd be dust. You know, just a big flash. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then that's my experience or whatever. So yes, Let's dive into this.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. 3, 2, 1. Epic music.
In the 1960s, Great Britain nuked the United States not once, but twice.
In the 1960s?
What?
Fortunately for all concerned, the attacks were only training exercises, but so embarrassing were these attacks that they were hidden from the American public for about 50 years, as well as being strenuously denied to the American press for decades.
Be interested to see what the hell happened. Why? How could they be so embarrassing that they had to be covered up and not revealed for 50 years?
Oh, an exercise.
Yeah, exercises.
So like a war game.
Yeah, this was still the Cold War.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right, fair enough.
Well, yeah.
As far as America was concerned, its defenses were 99% effective. But in simulated attacks, Royal Air Force bombers managed to penetrate US airspace to launch nuclear attacks on New York City and several other important urban centers. How did the British manage to penetrate the world's most heavily defended airspace? The answer is surprisingly simple and consists of 2 words: Avro-Vulcan.
Avro-Vulcan?
The Vulcan first flew in 1952. The team that created it, led by Roy Chadwick, who had designed the famous Lancaster heavy bomber of World War II. A jet-powered, tailless, delta-wing, high-altitude strategic bomber, the Vulcan was the backbone of Britain's nuclear airborne deterrent during most of the Cold War, serving from 1956 until retirement in 1984.
My goodness. That thing is a beast right there.
So wait, they stopped making it in 1984?
Yeah, or they retired it.
Interesting. Wow, okay.
Man, I just every time one of those big military aircrafts flies by, it was like it just gets me all giddy. And I'm like, America!
Yeah, you're just like you see it and you're just like, fuck yeah. Like, you're just like,
in awe of it.
Yeah. It's like, it's not supposed to fly, it's made of metal. But all right, cool.
Yeah. and you're supposed to hear it, what's it, Fortunate Son by CCR?
Yep.
Yeah.
I always hear that when I hear a helicopter. Or when I put so sometimes when I miss that Fortunate Son, I just put down the rear windows in my wife's car and I get that and I'm like, yes. America.
Love it. Come on.
This is the story of Exercise Sky Shield, when Britain nuked its closest ally, exposing how the Soviet Union could have done the same for real. In 1960, the United States decided to run the largest test of its air defenses in history. Exercise Sky Shield 1 occurred on the 10th of September 1960, and all commercial air traffic over the US and Canada was grounded, amounting to 1,000 US commercial flights and 700 general aviation aircraft, plus a further 31 foreign flights due to land in North America. The US Strategic Air Command would launch B-52 Stratofortresses and B-47 Stratojets to simulate a massive Soviet nuclear bomber force approaching North America from north and south.
All right, time out.
360 US.
That is massive, dude. So
Yeah.
the threat of nuclear war was so real that they grounded planes. Like,
Yeah. To test out to see how the Soviet Union could take them out.
could you imagine today? You know how many Karens would be up in arms that they missed their flight so the U.S. could test their defenses?
Yeah, for when China does send
Something.
stuff over. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I'd like to speak to your manager. I don't care about this whole China thing that you care about. I have to get to my son's soccer match and my wine night.
Yeah. The only defense I want to see is my son's soccer team. like Jesus. But like, that's how real it was, where it was okay. Like, I mean, granted, massive inconvenience, but still, like, you ground the flights. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's freaking, you don't do that. So that's how real it was for them to be able to just do it.
Yeah. The only time I can remember where all U.S. flights were grounded was 9/11. That's it.
Yes. That's the only other time. Yep.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll talk about another one because there was two tests here.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe it was 3.
Interceptor aircraft stood ready to defeat these enemy aircraft, which numbered 310. Among those 310 aircraft were 8 Royal Air Force Vulcan B-2 nuclear bombers. A flight of 4 flew from Scotland, while the other 4 launched from the British territory of Bermuda in the Atlantic Ocean. The American plan was to detect these enemy bombers by radar and other early warning systems. Then they would be intercepted and destroyed in simulated attacks by US jet fighters and missile batteries. The attacking bombers split their attacks between high and low altitude. The defending fighters did very well against the Stratojets and Stratofortresses, intercepting many of them, but the Vulcans proved more elusive opponents. The Vulcan flew at the highest altitude of the simulated Soviet bombers, cruising at 56,000 feet.
Oh my God!
One was successfully intercepted at this altitude over Goose Bay, Labrador, by a United States Air Force F-101 Voodoo. But the
wow, that is high up.
Yeah.
56,000 feet. Like most commercial airliners are at like 30,000, 35,000. 37,000 feet.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's insanity.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Holy shit.
Wow. Like, someone smarter than me, please comment below. How high do you have to be in order to get up into space? Like, break the atmosphere.
They were touching it, man. They were fucking touching it. That's oxygen masks all around.
Yeah. They're
at that point.
They're basically touching the face of God right there.
Yeah, man. Holy crap. That's
hot damn.
Dude.
Other 7 volts.
It just gives me chills just thinking about it.
You know what though? Okay. It goes to show you how close we are as allies, as friends, as I was about to say comrades, which is a bad choice of words during the Cold War. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are the best of friends with the most interesting of pasts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
without this test, holy shit, could you imagine? And, I get why they buried it. Because we needed to have been untouchable during these times. Because if we were touchable, if they could nuke us, Russia could too.
Yeah.
And that would be chaos.
Yeah, and we probably wouldn't be here talking about it on the internet today.
No.
Yeah.
Vulcans all managed to penetrate American airspace to launch simulated bombing attacks on US cities. They then turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland.
Oh my goodness.
The question was, how had the Vulcan managed it? The answer was their highly advanced electronic countermeasures systems and the Vulcan's amazing maneuverability. For example, the flight of 4 aircraft that approached from Bermuda were successful because 3 of them put up a wall of electronic interference that prevented interception, while the 4th Vulcan carried out a simulated nuclear strike. This was all rather embarrassing for Strategic Air Command, which quickly buried all stories about British bombers having nuked US targets and confidently assured the American public that US air defenses were, as I said, 99% effective. However, the following year the Americans invited the RAF to take part in Exercise Sky Shield 2. Perhaps the USAF was determined to show that the Vulcan's previous success was only a fluke, a one-time only event. Sky Shield 2, which occurred on the 14th of August 1961, was an even bigger event than the first one. It caused 2,900 US and Canadian flights to be grounded, affecting 125,000 commercial passengers.
Oh my god.
Oh my
During the
god.
exercise, 125 US and British bombers would be pitted against 1,800 fighters and 250 missile sites, and over 200,000 Air Force personnel from the US and Canada.
Coming up on 16 and a half seconds. Now, continuing. Yeah, but I'm still ready, now. 365 gear.
Wow.
6 foot standing by flaps.
Again, 8 Vulcan B-2s participated, split again into 2 flights. One attacking on the northern route from RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland via Canada, and the other 4 aircraft on a southerly route from Kindley Air Force Base, Bermuda. The B-47 Stratojets simulated low-level Soviet bombers. The B-52s would attack between 35,000 and 42,000 feet, while the Vulcans again operated at the highest altitude, 56,000 feet. At the massive NORAD, or North American Air Defense Bunker at Colorado Springs, the US top brass was joined by the RAF's Air Marshal Sir Kenneth Cross of Bomber Command and Sir Wallace Kyle, Chief of the RAF Technical Training Command, to monitor the exercise. Just before 2 p.m., US interceptors pounced on the B-52s, approaching at the mid to high altitude level. The Vulcans also came in from the north, and again, due to the Vulcans' high-tech jamming equipment, only one was shot down by an F-101 Voodoo fighter. In fact, large numbers of US fighters were scrambled, but they concentrated almost exclusively on the B-52s. When the Vulcans came over, the interceptors did not have sufficient fuel remaining to climb to 56,000 feet plus and engage them. The surviving 3 Vulcans conducted their attacks successfully, turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland. The southern attack force of 4 Vulcans from Bermuda reached a position 50 miles off the US coast before fighters were scrambled to intercept. Again, 3 of the Vulcans unleashed an electronic jamming screen that kept the attacking F-102 Delta daggers busy, while the 4th aircraft crept round to the north and sneaked through. This Vulcan proceeded to land at Plattsburgh Air Force Base in New York. If this had been a real attack, New York City could have been reduced to a smoking, irradiated hole in the ground.
Good God, man. Good God. Good thing they did that test.
Yeah, you know, it's wild, man. It's wild. Like, well, there's nothing to say. We just got straight up beat with our pants down, dude. Like,
yeah.
And that's why we've poured billions into the military defense. Like,
Yeah.
billions, more than the next 3 countries combined.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is probably one of the reasons.
This is the reason. And you know, it's
Yeah.
funny. Like, I think like the biggest aerial force has to be the U.S. Air Force.
Yeah.
The second biggest is the U.S. Navy. Like, so it's like we got one of two, and in case of attack, I know that we launch Navy aircraft, and then we keep in-house our Air Force.
Yes.
But that's just crazy, because from this time to now, like, so much money. Like, the GDP of countries goes into our defense budget.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, better to have Britain, you know, beat us with our pants down over any other country.
Yeah.
Like, better them than anybody else.
Yeah. I would have loved that like war room where there's like, best defense, what? Yeah. How about some tea?
Yeah. Yeah.
that would irk our little American bald eagle perched on our shoulders.
Yeah. No more
would've-
measuring stuff in from donuts to bald eagles.
Yeah. Okay. I would have loved to have been in that like war room. Like, yeah. Okay. Take it back. Take it down a notch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I love how like both like Britain and the U.S. understood why they couldn't run these stories.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
during this time, we needed to be untouchable to the Russians.
Yes, and not expose that we may have not been
No.
untouchable.
And so at that, you know what? That's good on our friends across the pond for
Yeah.
like not raising a national worldwide stink about it.
Yeah,
Right? They understood what was at stake. You know,
yeah.
like, okay, do your story. But in 50 years, we're gonna sure as shit expose your shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely love that, man.
Mad respect for keeping it under wraps for 50 years.
Yeah, and just going with it when you could have just exposed everything.
Yeah.
So fuck, man.
Yeah.
Many of the stratojets and stratofortresses had also managed to evade interception and launch simulated nuclear attacks, but not at the kind of success rate that the Vulcans enjoyed. In 2 massive exercises of 8 Vulcans that attacked on each occasion, 7 had got through to their targets, an
Wow.
astounding survival rate against the huge might of the US air defenses.
Wow.
The Vulcans showed that with the right aircraft, America could be laid wide open to a nation-ending assault, something which the Soviet Union would have been very interested in. Fortunately for all concerned, the relationship between Britain and the United States never changed from special to decidedly antagonistic, and the Vulcans never came in anger. The American government also tried to make damn sure that nobody ever found out about the Vulcans nuking American cities. The US Air Force was very quick to deny rumors that RAF planes had once again successfully penetrated US airspace. In fact, the US government went so far as to classify all references to Vulcans included in the Sky Shield exercises. After all, if the RAF could practice nuke New York City, Washington, D.C., and even Chicago, the Soviets could do the same, if they could develop an aircraft as good as the Vulcan. As far as Strategic Air Command was concerned, the Vulcan episodes had never happened, and the US was well protected, and that protection, as I said, 99% effective. The Vulcans' successful attacks on America were only fully declassified in 1997, long after the Vulcan had left British service.
Very nicely done.
Hey,
Very nicely done.
hey, I love that. I love learning that shit.
Yeah.
It's the more vulnerable this country is in the eyes of everyone, the more shits will be given. Does that
Right.
you know, like I feel like I have a very biased opinion.
Of course, yeah. Because
But-
we're both Americans, we have a biased opinion on this.
Yes, and I've been the dog in the fight. So
Yeah, yes,
you know,
you have.
so hear me out. The more vulnerable people understand that we are, the better.
Yeah,
When you say someone is like invincible, they get comfortable.
yeah. They get cocky.
They get cocky, they get complacent. And so in a way it was good at the time because I feel like the threat of getting nuked is always out there. Like it's always fucking out there. But yeah, good on them at that time. I think maybe at that time it was the right decision, right?
Yeah.
But good on the Brits, man. Good on the Brits. Like hell yeah. Yeah. You know, I didn't know about this until today. That we got nuked multiple times.
Yeah, twice. By our friends the Brits.
Yep. Oh man. But you know, that's if someone's gonna nuke you, might as well be your best friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
At least in a game of pretend nukes. Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And both kind of understand, hey, you know, we never can talk about this. Like
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's there's several scenarios I could compare it to, but I won't.
Yeah. I just feel like, you know, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Pretty badass because I mean, during that time we were pounding our chest pretty hard. So it was nice that the higher ups got a taste of humble pie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And if they hadn't gotten that taste of humble pie, then our airspace could have been jacked up.
Yep. It could have been compromised. And or maybe that's the reason behind everyone's back we were just dumping in money to defense and we didn't know about it. Like, why are we spending so much on the defense budget? Like, well, because we got fucking nuked, bro. Because we got fucking nuked. But we can't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But it's always good to learn shit, man.
Yeah. Especially little things like this. Big things, honestly, in the grand scheme of the history of this country.
Yeah, and I mean it's really not for me. It goes to show the relationship between our two nations. I'm very happy to have allies like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're good friends. We're gonna keep it that way.
Yeah,
I hope. You know what I mean? Like,
so, yeah.
But yeah, man. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. A nuke. Yeah. Oh man. Because you know, at this time, Russia had like what was it called? The Tsar Bomba, and if they drop that, bro, that's like hundreds of times bigger than what we dropped.
Yeah.
Hundreds. It would make the East Coast basically unlivable, or they would create a whole new ocean.
Yeah. Probably would have made Hiroshima look like, you know,
like a bonfire.
A bonfire.
Yeah. Oh man. So no. I love this. I love this learning shit that we do here.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You and me both, man. Yeah, sometimes. Most of the time. most of the time it's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Did we say 2 thumbs up on it?
No, but this is great.
Yeah. This is great. Like, I love these learning documentary things, and I hate to shamelessly plug it, but this was picked from our Patreon supporters. Every other week we do a poll like this, and
shout out to you guys.
Shout out to our patrons for picking this awesomeness here.
Hell yeah. Oh man. Oh god, I want to be thinking about this way too long. So
yeah. I'm sure it'll come back up every now and again.
Yep. Man.
Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching. Somewhere around to subscribe and watch another video. Wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your butt, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
Unplug and do something epic, guys.
See y'all next time.
Later.
Fellas, we could be that mistake. Let's do this.